Why do I feel so nervous? Hi guys, welcome back. So it's been a little while, but I'm gonna fill you in, and this video is gonna be a little bit different, but okay, let's get into it. But if I was your girl. So yeah, I don't know what to say. Sorry guys, really quickly, I'm watching this back and I cannot believe I have a whole strip of glue above my eyelash. I'm actually fuming, but please ignore it. And yeah, let's just pretend it's not there. Yeah. Oh my god, I'm sweating. My palms are actually sweating. I'm actually being moist. Okay, let me just talk. Come on. So first I want to say, to be honest, this video is going to be a bit more, I don't want to say serious because I don't like being too serious, but it is a serious topic at the end of the day. But it's going to be like a bit more sensitive. So I do want to give like a little trigger warning. I'm going to be quite raw and just like, just talk. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, this stuff is really hard for me to talk about. But I feel like I really need to push myself out there and like just get past the whole stigma of it, and yeah, like just talk authentically, talk about how I'm feeling, because at the end of the day I feel like it will help me get to a better space, like if I'm confronting what's going on in my mind rather than like running away from it or dismissing it. And at the same time, I don't know who else is going through something similar, or do you know what I mean? You get it. So yeah, basically recently, yeah, I've just been feeling like really down, really low, and it's not the first time. I've spoken about it briefly in like my last few videos or so, or like my first few videos, but yeah, like I have dealt with depression and anxiety for a few years now. Like I have my moments where I'm fine, and then it just like comes back, and then it's like really hard to deal with and stuff. Yeah. But so yeah, recently I've been going through it again, and it's not been the easiest thing to deal with, because I feel like when you feel like you're taking like 10 steps forward, even like those 10 steps can be amazing and you want to congratulate yourself and you know it's like amazing, but then you feel like you take 20 steps back, and then it's just so disheartening going through it again and stuff. But I thought at the end of the day, you know what, I've been seeing like quite a few people like give their testimonies and stuff of them like getting out of that space and stuff like that, which is absolutely amazing, and I love seeing stories like that. But it made me realize there's actually not a lot of like videos of like stories of people that are still going through it, kind of thing. Like you hear the testimonies and they're like they've reached a happy ending, but I've realized like yeah, I don't see a lot of people talking about it that are still going through it and stuff, or like they're, do you know what I mean? But I just feel like it's really important to congratulate yourself no matter where you are on your journey, because there's never a time that's too early or too late to reflect and look at how far you've come and say, you know what, I've actually come far, or I've made progress. And then it might even show you like what you need to work on and stuff like that. And then yeah, I feel like why I'm doing it now is because I feel like I reached a point where I was forgetting about all the progress I made, all the steps I'd taken forward, and I was just focusing on the fallbacks. But now I'm bouncing back. And literally, it's only literally today I've been feeling a bit better, and I'm still not 100%. I feel like I don't want to force it. I'm trying like to be a bit more like, but no, but I'm good. But I'm like, do you know what I mean? I'm getting better. It's a progress, and I know it's just something I need to continue working on and stuff like that. And I know my journey doesn't end here, so we stay moving. But yeah, I just wanted to share my story of like just how I got to where I am today and everything I've been through. And I feel like yeah, it might help someone else. Other people might be able to relate. And at the end of the day, guys, I'll be honest, it's for me too. Like I need to offload, and yeah, I just feel like it was just the easiest way to communicate everything to you. And I want to try get into the habit of just being as transparent as possible And yeah, like just removing any stigma that's attached to just talking about mental health or anything like that in general, and just normalizing the conversation. So basically, I think I have another video where I tell a little story time about I catfished a guy, long story, whatever, go watch the video. But no, I spoke about my first heartbreak in that video, and that was obviously, it's funny to talk about now and stuff like that, but around that time was like when my depression started. Like that was a big contributing factor to it. It was just like my first heartbreak, my first like love, do you know what I mean, like all of those things. And it was just like a shock to the system. I'd never been through anything like that at all before. Like my childhood was actually like really like happy and stuff. Like I wasn't really upset. I mean, I was a bit angry as a child, but nothing like too serious. But yeah, so like education wise, family wise, everything, friendships, all my whole childhood, like not perfect, but you know what I mean, like everything was great. I had like no issues. I don't really have like a story where to say like, oh, like, you know, I didn't have this, I didn't have that. I was treated great, and yeah, I had like good people around me my whole life. So coming to, I think it was like a shock to the system kind of thing, of just like, yeah, what is that? I had no idea how to deal with it, never saw it coming, didn't know how to deal with it. And at the same time, I was at uni, I didn't like the course I was doing. I felt behind, I felt like I didn't know anything. So like there was just loads of different things contributing to making me like doubt myself, making me feel worse off, just making me feel really low, demotivated and stuff like that. And then I got into a really bad habit of just staying in my room, literally blinds closed all day, didn't talk to people, didn't really want to go out. Or when I did go out, I would just get like drunk off my face, like, so you know, it was like I was dealing with it so badly. But obviously at the time I didn't know I was depressed. I just thought I was really upset. I didn't, because I had never felt anything like that. So I just thought, let me do what I need to do. So yeah, I started by isolating myself, and then I went from extreme to extreme, because then I was like going out all the time, getting drunk all the time. Yeah, literally just not dealing with it. And I feel like because I never acknowledged the issues, I never really dealt with it properly. Like I kind of just brushed it under the carpet. So then by the time summer came, I think things were just a little bit better at first, because like, okay, I'm out of uni. Then I was like, okay, obviously life is going to be so much better now, like I've got the summer. But then there was like this feeling of just like emptiness in me. Like it was so hard for me to explain. Like obviously there was other little things going on as well, but yeah, it was just weird. But I still like just kept it moving. Like I had a holiday that summer or whatever, so I think you can see basically I just wasn't really dealing with things. And then as time was going by, I went back to uni now, and same kind of thing as first year really. I was just doing the same kind of stuff. Like I wasn't getting as drunk and going out as much, but I was still like, you know, trying to distract myself and just have really bad coping mechanisms. So yeah, that was not helping at all. And as the year was going on now, that's when yeah, I started to realize maybe I'm depressed, because I would have times when I was so low, didn't want to get out of bed, didn't want to eat, speak to anyone. All the things that I enjoyed doing, I didn't enjoy doing anymore. And like you could just tell there was something different about me. Like if you're around me, like usually I'm quite bubbly, upbeat, do you know what I mean? But that was not me. So yeah, I felt like a different person. And then I feel like the timeline even might be a bit shaky in my head now, because there's just so much going on in my head right now. But yeah, like I got really low or whatever, and then I started to try self-harm. I'd never tried it before, and it was more of like a curiosity thing at the time. It was really weird, but yeah, I tried that out, and like it felt kind of nice in the time, but then it didn't, in the grand scheme of things, it wasn't really helping me, you know, fix anything, solve anything, do you know what I mean? It was just a really bad coping mechanism. So yeah, as the year was progressing, problems were just building up basically. Uni, financial problems, my family, when I say my family, sorry, it's only me and my mum that lived at home at the time, but my mum moved like out of London, really far away, so I was really far from my friends. I was just feeling really distant from God. I was like having tiffs with a few friends. So like at a point I just felt like I reached a breaking point, and I just felt like I had enough. And literally I felt like my perspective of life was like there was no hope for me. Like I've lost all faith, all hope. There's nothing out there for me. This is my life. I thought like the situation I was in at that moment, I thought that is where I was, and I thought that is where I was gonna stay. So my mind was literally like, that's it, you're done. So that is when I had my first attempt at suicide. I took some pills, and yeah, I took quite a few pills, and as soon as I did it, it's kind of like something clicked in my head, like, wait, what's going on? Obviously I was in tears, I was in bits or whatever. This is when I was at home, and then my mum came into the room, she saw me crying and was like, oh my god, what the hell's like going on? And then at first I couldn't even speak. And then yeah, I just told her whatever. Well, she saw that the pills, she kind of put two and two together, but then I just said, and she just took me straight to the hospital basically. And honestly, that experience was like one of the worst experiences of my life. Well, obviously, but even like just the physical aspect of it, like when I was in hospital, I just threw up so much. They like obviously put me on the drip and stuff, and I was just constantly throwing up, like literally for hours. And it's like even once I threw up everything that was inside me, my body was still like throwing up. I like popped veins in my face because of all the pressure of like throwing up, and literally for like days my face looked like a puffer fish. It was like so puffy and red. So it just left me feeling so low even after that. And then obviously like my family were called in, and it was just like a really emotional time. And I just remember having feelings of what the hell have I just tried to do, like what the hell have I just done? And like do you know, I feel like I just had some clarity after that. Obviously I was still feeling really low because it just wasn't it didn't leave me in a great space, it left me worse off. But it just made me realize as well how much support I had around me that I was not using. Like my family and my friends, obviously when they found out of it, they were distraught. Like they couldn't believe that I didn't go to them sooner. They were like, just like, we are here for you. And like the reassurance I got and the support I got after was like, it just made me think, why had I not been using you guys this whole time when you guys are here for me? And I knew I would do the same for them, but in that moment like my mind was just not even comprehending these thoughts. All rationality was like out of the window. But yeah, so moving forward, like I was like, okay, no, I'm gonna snap out of it now, gonna move forward positively, and had way more support around me. So yeah, like moving forward. And then I was feeling a lot better for a while, like for quite a while actually. I was just doing good. Like I felt like I was back to normal. I felt like I like found me again. It's so weird because it's like it's so hard to pinpoint sometimes like when it starts and what your triggers are. And obviously I've said so many times, like knowing your triggers are so important, because obviously then yeah, you can do what you can to avoid it, or like know how to deal with them. But at the time I had no idea what brought it on. Obviously like little things, but it was like the extent I was getting upset to, like it just wasn't making sense. And I started thinking there's something wrong with me. So as soon as I got into this mentality of thinking there's something wrong with me, it was like a downward spiral, because like I accepted that I had a problem, but I wasn't acknowledging like what my actual problems were. And I was just trying to like brush past it, get over it, whatever. And then because I was in a relationship at the time, it did like put a strain on the relationship and on me, because it was just also draining. And obviously for him to have to deal with that as well, like he was so supportive, but it's just always going to be like something difficult to work through. And obviously I wasn't dealing with it in the best way, and I was a bit more immature than I am now kind of thing. So yeah, it wasn't like I wasn't dealing with it great. So I completely like forgot all of like everything I said the last time everything happened. Like all the positive things I was saying, they were completely out the window. And it's like my mind was just once again focusing on all the negatives. And it's like, how did I get here again? And I was so disheartened at the fact that I was there again. And I was so stuck on the fact that I'd taken steps back that I couldn't move forward, because I was just so stuck on thinking about that the whole time. But yeah, so basically a similar situation happened again where I tried it again, but this time as soon as I started to take the pills, I just snapped out of it again, and I just burst out into tears again. And I feel like that day made me realize that I was really having like an internal battle that I just wasn't making sense of before, but I was starting to deep it. Like, there's so much conflict in me that I need to just get everything out, and I need to sort everything out. So obviously I went to hospital again, but it wasn't that serious because I didn't take that many or whatever, because thankfully I stopped it earlier than then if it got bad. So this time afterwards, obviously people were more concerned and I think some people, not to say people weren't taking it seriously before, but it was just seen as way more serious this time and stuff. So people were way more like proactive and being involved, because I was very like, at this point, because I was so down, it's like I didn't even want to help myself. So like, how can people help me if I don't want to help myself? So people were like really trying to force me to do stuff, like, so they were trying to get me to do therapy, like get me to doctor's appointments and stuff. Like I tried like 3 different therapists, and I just kept saying no, I don't like them, it's not working for me. But I wasn't really like giving it a chance. So it's like, how can it work if I'm not even like allowing the therapist to do what they're supposed to do? Like I felt really even sorry for the therapist, like in hindsight. Like I even felt sorry for them at the time because I wanted to open up, but it was so hard for me. This has always been so hard for me to talk about. So I was literally like a brick wall in the therapy sessions. And then yeah, it was just like, so the first 2 were private therapists, and then because I felt bad about like my family paying for it and stuff like that, so I was like, I'll just go through the NHS. Because of the severity of the situation, they put me through quite urgently, so luckily I didn't have to wait too long on the wait list. And then I tried the NHS, but the only reason why I didn't like that one was because every time I was going, they would give me a new therapist every time, and it just got really frustrating for me because, like I said, I don't like talking about it, and they kept giving me a new therapist who would ask me questions that the last person would ask me. And I knew it wasn't their fault, but I was just getting so frustrated, and I was just like, I'm over it, like I can't be asked. I was prescribed antidepressants. I tried that for a bit as well, like during the therapy. But yeah, like when I said no to the therapy, I just said no to everything. I was like, you know what, I'm fine. And I was just like in this little pit of denial where I was like, because I didn't really want to have to do these things that I didn't enjoy. So I just said, you know what, I'm fine. And I told everyone I was fine. Obviously not everyone believed me straight away, but I was pretending to be fine. So after a while, everyone was like, okay, like she's actually fine. And obviously like people still checked on me here and there, and like my friends are obviously always around and stuff, but how are they to know that I'm going through anything if I don't tell them, kind of thing. So yeah, once, like I just feel like over the next like couple of years or so, it was just like back and forth a bit. It was never really like got that bad. I just had moments where I was feeling low, but then I could go to maybe like one friend and they would like help me get out of it, kind of thing, and we'll move forward. Or like my circumstances would change. Like there was a bit when I was unemployed last year and I got really low. Then I found a job, so I was like, okay, I'm good again. Yeah, so like I said, over the past like years, it's just been so back and forth. Like obviously I've spoken mainly about like the suicide attempts, because like they are like the main big events that happened on this journey, but there were loads of like little back and forths along the way. But yeah, up until now, so recently I was doing like this year, obviously goes without saying, this year has been mad, like not just for me, for like probably everyone. Yeah, it's just been a weird, tough year. So I know that everyone's just been going through it, and I feel like at first I was even kind of shocked, because I was like, I'm kind of dealing with it okay. Obviously I was going through like little tiny low moments, but I was like, I was picking up myself quite quickly. So I was like, oh my god, I feel like I've actually patterned this. I thought I'm out of this, never gonna like get that low again. Lo and behold, was it like a couple weeks ago now, it just started building up. And like, I'm only speaking in hindsight, because at the time I didn't even realize. But in hindsight now I can see that it was starting to build up little things, but I was just brushing it away. And that's when I started like drinking a bit more, because I was going out a bit as well, not loads, but I was like using every opportunity I could to make an excuse to be able to drink. So over the last 2 weeks, if I'm honest, and it's like, it's so like shameful or whatever, but it's so embarrassing to say, but literally like over the last couple of weeks, I've probably had like at least a bottle of wine every night, or almost every night. And like, it's even crazy to think how I didn't realize sooner that there was something wrong. But I was just masking all my issues, because obviously when I was having my wine and stuff, I was enjoying myself, whatever. Then I'd wake up the next morning and I feel a bit but then by the evening, like ready to go again. So it's like I had this cycle of bad coping mechanisms. I'm not dealing with anything, and I wasn't telling anyone anything. So literally but I have one friend that kind of knows most of the situation just from the past years, and because I don't like speaking about it and they know that, I would just go to him and be like, okay, I'm feeling down today, and I wouldn't really need to say too much, and that he would just help me like get out of it, kind of thing, which I was like so grateful for. But I feel like we even both realized that that probably wasn't the best like way to deal with it, because I wasn't addressing my issues. He was just like helping me get out of it, like, okay, let's go out here, or I'll come round and we can watch a movie, whatever. But yeah, like that wasn't the best way to deal with it, because I wasn't addressing things and I wasn't telling anybody else as well. So I can really rely on just him. And I feel like when you're going through like this stuff as well, obviously like you do feel sorry for yourself, but you kind of, I don't want to say forget, because it's like I was aware, but you kind of forget about the weight that you're putting on someone else's shoulders. So I was just relying on him so much, and it's a shame, because it was just because he felt like the most comfortable person for me to go to. So I was going to him like loads, and obviously at first it was fine, but it started to build up on him, and it's like it got to a point where I'm not on purpose, but it's like I was even expecting him to just cancel his plans to come and see me if I was feeling down, because then I was thinking like, why would you not want to come and help me if I'm sad, you know, things like that. But it's like he has his own life too. So I feel like a lot of people that go through stuff, yeah, it's not even just like our struggle, it's the people around us. We need to remember like our friends and family, our support system, the weight on their shoulders too, because they are part of our journey as well. So yeah, I got really low like over the last few days, and again I was just getting really negative thoughts. I was having suicidal thoughts again, and I just wanted to give up. And literally, no, like if you were on my social media or anything, you would have no idea. And if people popped up, you know, on text you can kind of just pretend to be okay, like so easy. So I was avoiding phone calls and stuff like that. But literally then yesterday morning I just got so low. I woke up and I felt terrible, and I just didn't, I felt like I couldn't physically move. I was in bed just crying, and I felt like I have no hope, and I was just so tired and drained, because it's like, how long am I gonna have to go through this for? Because I was like, I've literally been going through this since what, 2014, and like, when does this end, literally? So I thought, this is me once again. I'm stuck and I can't deal with it anymore. Like my brain was literally telling me to give up, like just saying, you're done, like there's no fight left in you, like you're finished. But yeah, like to cut that story a bit shorter, I was like going to my friend again, and that's when he was like it's actually enough, like you need to tell people. And I would be like, it's too hard, I don't want to talk to anyone about it, because at this point I didn't even want to help myself. And he like just told like quite a few of my friends for me, and as soon as they heard, obviously like everyone was like, Chloe, we are here for you. Like my friends, like they are just the best ever, because they just did everything they could to reassure me that they're there for me. Got so many messages that day, and then like a couple of my friends came around and surprised me to come and help me get better. And when they came, they were like, you know what, we are gonna make a plan, like obviously have your comfort and stuff, but they helped me plan like things I can do to just help myself feel better when I'm feeling low. And they helped me like just get to the cause of what my actual issues were stemming from and stuff, to actually just help understand what my problems are. And yeah, these things are so important. So that's been my journey basically. So I feel like I've been rambling on I just talk too much, but yeah, like this stuff was so hard for me to talk about before, and it's not the easiest thing for me to talk about now, but I just think it's so important to acknowledge what you're going through, acknowledge your journey and your process, and know how to deal with yourself. I've been going through this for like, what, 6 years, and it's only yesterday I really deeped. I have a problem with being by myself. I have a problem relying on people. I don't want to deal with things by myself. Like, I just get really scared by myself. And yeah, it's like I deep this how much further down the line, but it's never too late to realize these things, and then I can still congratulate myself for getting there. Like 6 years down the line, I'm still here. I'm not where I want to be yet, I'm not even close, but I'm still here. I'm still standing tall, I'm still standing strong, because I've been through everything I've been through, and it knocked me down, but I got back up every time. And as much as I was like sad that I'll take 2 steps forward and 3 back, and 5 steps forward and 6 back, and stuff like that, at the end of the day, there's still progress. I'm still trying, I'm still fighting. As long as you're still trying, you're gonna be fine. It is draining, I'm gonna lie to you, like, it's not like a fairy tale story. Like, this is what I was trying to say at the beginning. I've not reached my happy ending, and it's still hard. Like today I'm still feeling a bit low, but we just need to keep pushing. There's still fight in you, there's always fight, and there's always hope and faith to hold on to. And everything just made me realize how much I took my circumstances for granted. Like, I have a support system waiting for me to use them, and I wasn't using them. I have like blessings around me that I was ignoring. I was choosing to focus on the obstacles that were in front of me. Like, obviously, like, I'm saying it now because it's like, sorry, but I'm not even making sense. My point is that it's a journey. It's not easy. Even like, yeah, me getting to the point I am today has been the longest tiring journey. But I know for a fact that it's going to be all worth it in the end. And even like, I can see how the journey has even made me stronger today. And obviously, like, I can look at other people and think, oh, I wish I was like that, I wish I was like them, I wish I was happy like them. There's so many times I've looked at other people and thought, I wish I'm happy like them. But we all have our own struggles as well. Do you know how many times people have spoken to me and they've said like, oh, you seem so happy, you seem like you've got it all figured out? I'm like, what me? Impossible. And so every time anyone said that to me, I'm like, this is crazy. Like, when people come to me for advice, obviously, like, I'm don't get me wrong, like, I feel like I'm actually quite good at giving advice. It's just that I don't take my own. But I'm just like, what gives you the impression that I've got this figured out? Like, and I guess that's what people see. They just pick up on things on social media, and I don't ever really show this side of me. Like, I try to like be motivational, because I've just always wanted to like remove any stigma related to mental health, and I always just want to help anybody out there that could be going through anything similar. But yeah, I'm just like, we really can't judge books by their covers at all, because yeah, we've all got our own struggles, we've all got our own problems. But yeah, I feel like my mouth is literally like aching with how much I've been talking. But yeah, I kind of like, that's what I said, I didn't want this video to be too serious, but it's a serious topic at the end of the day. But I feel like it has to, I feel like it just has to be spoken about. And it's something that I've actually been wanting to speak about for ages. I've just been so scared and nervous to talk about it. Like, it's crazy. I feel like I've even like hardly been looking at the camera today, like, but I'm getting better. And it's a journey, you know? And here I am still today. Oh yeah, so even just like a message to people that aren't necessarily going through it themselves, but they are that support system I was speaking about. So maybe you know someone that's going through something, because you guys as well, I feel like obviously there's always so much motivation for people going through mental health and stuff like that to stay strong and stuff, but for the support system too, you guys are so important, and your mental health is so important as well. Like, as much as you want to help people and stuff, please don't neglect your own mental health, like, to help somebody else. As much as obviously you can still help people and stuff, but remember, don't put like too much pressure on yourself, because you don't want to get yourself down, and then at the end of the day, when you're down, you won't be able to support that person you want to help anyway. And then obviously people going through it, anyone going through any mental health issues that have gone it in the past, that maybe going through it now, or they're contemplating if they you know, are going through it at the moment, just stay strong. And I know it sounds so cliche, but honestly, you have so much power over your mind. Like, it's so underestimated all the time. It's literally, the power's in your hands, and just take control of your life. And I know you want to be happy, like I know it, because there's times where I said to my friends like, I don't even care anymore, stuff like that, but it's my mind lying to me. Literally, I'm lying to myself, literally. Like, I want to be happy. We all have that ideal life of how we want it to be. There's absolutely nothing stopping you from getting that except you. So if you want it, then just work towards it and you'll get it. Like, now moving forward, obviously I feel like I've got like some time off work, so I'm just going to use this time to like try and get myself in a better headspace, and hopefully that can now get me to just take steps forward in a practical way, so I can find more healthy coping mechanisms, like not drinking or doing anything else silly. Like I can just get back to journaling, meditating, reading, going for walks, reaching out to friends and family, stuff like that, just taking those steps forward. And as well, obviously, just reminding myself of the progress I've made, knowing it doesn't end here and there is a journey to keep going, but reminding myself that I'm strong enough to do it. Look at how far I've come, look at all the things that I've made it through, and I'm still here. Like, I'm sure that stands for something. But yeah, yeah, no, I hope that, you know, you guys took from this something or whatever. Don't judge me for the choices I've made, but no, yeah guys, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you guys soon. And take care, stay blessed, stay healthy, stay happy.